the pickup and dating industry live stream. So once again, I'm open to anyone's questions. I get that it's probably also a strange time as well. It's also starting to slightly rain, so I might end up getting the umbrella out, but I'll leave it for people to join, as everyone suddenly gets notified saying, "Oh my God, Daniel is like doing a live stream." It's certainly a lot cooler today, which is good. My God, it was hot yesterday. Really hot yesterday. So as per usual, I kind of like the idea of discussing the dating industry and the pickup industry in general. Ideally the one in London, because that's the one I'm probably more familiar with. And I think it would be a really good idea for people to get more insight into the industry, as well as actually just discuss anything about it. Maybe you've had good experiences, bad experiences, you name it. I would like to talk about it. And I like the idea that everyone can share their stories about it as well. In fact, the more that we can discuss it, the more insight people have, and the better the understanding as well, which I think is a really good thing. I find I probably don't need to talk so much whilst there's no one actually watching the live stream at the moment. Also bear with me, those who do end up joining. Sometimes the signal sort of comes and goes a little bit because I go through areas that I don't think have the greatest of signal. So do bear with me, but I would love to hear your questions. It'd be great to get some insight into your thoughts, or maybe you need help with something that we can discuss. I've also opened the chat as well. If you haven't done so already, I would absolutely love it if you can subscribe to the channel, because every subscriber helps me to reach more people, grow my audience, but more importantly I can then have the opportunity to help more people. I think certainly we live in a time where social anxiety is quite a difficult thing. A lot of people feel very alone, or they feel like that there's not really any help out there, when the truth is that there is. But I think as long as people keep following a narrative that, oh, there's no help, then they don't actually go and look for that help. And then there's this like self-fulfilling prophecy that they don't get help because they don't look for help, because they're told there is no help. Hence why they don't look. And then the cycle goes round and round in circles. But yeah, if you haven't done so already, it'd be amazing for you to subscribe. Obviously, I want you to subscribe if my content is something that you resonate with. That's absolutely fine if it's not. But I would certainly love to get questions to talk about the industry. Maybe you've got experiences within it as well that you'd love to share. Then I'd like to think that I'm here to discuss it with you. So a little bit about my dating industry in London for the last 16 years. Got hiccups now. I got introduced to it in about 2009, where I grew up being incredibly shy. Oh, I love that car. And through my own kind of like whirlwind experience, I was able to build my confidence and and really put myself out there. I struggled having relationships, ever having girlfriends and stuff, and then through building my confidence and through just even developing a much better mindset of how I perceived myself in life and just how I also put myself out there, I was able to learn to communicate better and meet new people, and of course have relationships as well. But yeah, I've worked in the industry for the last 16 years. Behind the scenes, I've worked with about 80 plus dating coaches now during that time. And I've helped them with growing their YouTube channels, making products, consulting with them, you name it, or you name the coach, I have most likely worked with them if they've passed through London, or at least in the circles of dating coaches. They would certainly have heard of me, not to toot my own horn, but yeah, they would have certainly have heard of me. Whereas, I probably don't get that gratification from people in public, because you'll hear more about the coach and you'll be like, how did they get these videos filmed? They look amazing, and then that would be yours truly helping out with that. So that's kind of a little bit about my backstory. But now I'm kind of in front of the camera. Over the last sort of year or so, I trained as a life coach and in something called integral eye movement therapy, which essentially allows me to detach unwanted memories and emotions from unwanted emotions and feelings from past memories. So if, let's say, a guy has had a horrible rejection from a girl and because of that he never wants to socialize, or he doesn't want to meet any women because he thinks that he's going to have some horrific experience again, then the eye movement therapy can help detach that feeling and allow the person to actually test that feeling or that experience by going for it and it not feeling so intimidating. And then they get new reference experience and they're like, oh, okay, actually this wasn't so bad to go and speak to strangers. So I trained as a life coach in that. I'm also looking at learning other therapies because I'd like to try and help people who do have different mental disorders, who maybe are someone who self-harms or tries to do worse. So I really want to try and cater to people of all backgrounds, and even not just men, women as well, because I think everyone has social anxiety, or I think it's kind of obvious that everyone has social anxiety. They've all got things that they're afraid of. And I do something, or I'm a big advocate of something called cold approach, which is just essentially the skill of going over to talk to a stranger and start a conversation. And I think it should be something that is utilised, or should be utilised by everyone. It really does fast track your confidence. It helps you to reach a level of self-actualization faster than I think people are probably aware of. But sadly, over the years though, I've had 4 friends take their lives, and it was because of these experiences, and these were people who either worked or participated in the dating industry. That really got me thinking, well, there really isn't enough support for people's mental health, or anyone teaching them a bit more of a holistic approach to working on their confidence or their social anxiety. And that was where I decided to sort of step up and help people. So I'm a big believer in exposure therapy. That if you want to work on your confidence, if you're scared of socializing and speaking to people, then believe it or not, that is the thing that you have to do to become desensitized to it, to become confident. Welcome, Steve Clark. Thank you for joining the live stream. If you've got a question about the pickup or dating industry in London, I am all ears. I'm looking excited, or looking forward. That's kind of a combination of 2 phrases there. I'm genuinely quite excited to answer people's questions, or actually just have a discussion about something in the industry. So, you know, if you've got anything that you'd love to talk about, by all means, fire away, my friend. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your experiences, your compliments, complaints about it and stuff. Definitely don't be afraid to share some thoughts, because I want more people to have a better understanding of what the industry is, how it works. Across the road. %, disciple. Let's see what you've got here. Have you come across Dean Raymond? That name sounds familiar. Dean. Is that Dean from Succeed at Dating? If it is, then yes, I've filmed for him. I think twice. I'm sure I filmed a couple of his events when he was I think in London actually. I seem to also think one up north as well. Yep, that's the guy. Yep. No, I've worked with him, and he's got, I can't think of his colleague's name. Is it Romeo? I'm sure he's got like an abbreviation for his name as well. Got a message from Martin. Ephraim is a funny fella. Yep, 8 percentile. Yep. I love the names that sometimes people have for their YouTube. It's brilliant. What's his background, by the way? The name sounds Eritrean. Well, Ephraim. That is a good question. I know he said it, and I think he's spoken about it in a few of his videos, because he's brought it up, I know, with a couple of girls whilst I've been filming him, where like I think he's asked the girls about their nationality, and then he's brought up something himself, but I think it's like he's like part, I don't know why I'm thinking he's part American, part from Ghana, but best thing to do is probably check with Ephraim, because I can't really be a spokesperson on what potential nationality he is. Just checking if he's legit. It was a bit odd when I've interacted with him. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. So I mean, at the moment I've only filmed Dean's events, but I'm sure I saw a few of his in fields, and I must admit they are actually quite natural. I think he definitely is an older guy, because bear in mind I think he's in his 40s, and so is Romeo as well. I must admit, when I was filming their events, I quite liked some of the explanations that they had during their presentation. As you can imagine, when I've worked with about 80 plus coaches over the years, I've heard the same regurgitated content over and over, and I think for those guys, their unique selling point was talking about vibe, and it was just really, I found it absolutely fascinating. So they've certainly got an angle. As for what their coaching is like, in all honesty, I don't know, because I've not filmed any of their in fields. I've not filmed any in-person content. It's only been a couple of their events for their marketing stuff. But from at least conversations that I've had with them, I mean, I must say, vibe-wise, I mean, I think they seem like pretty legit, down-to-earth guys. But I mean, I won't judge someone until I've probably properly watched their in-fields. And like I say, I've seen a couple that they showed me on their phone, but I like to actually, you know, sit and properly observe and stuff, you know, and do it in my own time, so I can genuinely get a better understanding of it. So hopefully that answers that. Are you filming with him every day? Yes. So Ephraim booked me for the entire month. So we started on my birthday on the 2nd, and we've literally been doing 3 hours of filming every single day whilst the weather has been good. And I'm going to be filming with him up until I think the 29th of September. So yeah, it's exhausting to say the least. I mean, I'm averaging about 10 to 15 miles walking a day, which I don't mind. I think it's probably just the fact that we're not really having any break in between, and the time that we're starting is kind of at a slight weird time because I'm not really having any lunch. I'm kind of essentially running on fumes or what I've eaten for a big breakfast, for what it's worth. But no, we are doing every single day this entire month. So I mean, if you have a look at his channel, you'll see a load of my footage. You'll see a lot of videos all around London of him approaching, and I know him and Christian are kind of like editing the videos like crazy to try and get through them and get in like a backlog so he's ready to pump them out. But yeah, he's going to have a lot of videos by the end of the month. I mean, it'll be probably around like 100 videos for him to be releasing, as well as what he would have released by the end of the month as well. So yeah, so it's good. In fact, in a way, it's kind of nice to see another coach's style and what they do. I think it's always useful, and it also just kind of again just shows how varied each coach is with their style, and that as long as you just go over to someone with conviction, then you can pretty much try and have whatever happens, obviously within reason. That you don't have to be the smoothest or suavest, you don't have to be the most well dressed, you don't have to be the most good looking, you don't have to be the most tall. I'm certainly a firm believer it's your confidence kind of comes from within, and how you perceive yourself is really one of the most important things, kind of like a placebo in a sense. But the more comfortable you are within yourself, then usually the better that you do with talking to people. And definitely going over to someone with conviction, not being kind of like, oh, I'm not sure, I don't want to sort of like make them feel bad if I interrupt their day. It's like, no, I'm coming over because I want to speak to you. Have at least that kind of conviction. I'll be a little bit quiet here because there's a wedding going on as well. It gives me an opportunity to read more questions. So I just answered that. The guy from War Dogs was Ephraim Jewish. Okay. Do you and Ephraim do approaches or are all the approaches for the day only on camera? That's a good question. To be honest, by the end of the session, we are absolutely exhausted. So bear in mind, Ephraim has flown over from San Francisco to work with me for the month. So to be fair on him, he has spent a fair bit of money to work with me and get a load of content that's going to help him essentially with his business. But I mean, yeah, he is absolutely exhausted by the end of it. And as well, to be honest, I don't want him hungover or anything with producing content, because then that's only going to just waste his money if he sort of like turns up, or he rocks up to do filming, and he's just like, his face is just completely exhausted and he's just like too tired or hungover to do anything. So no, he's not doing anything. I'm kind of dating this Polish girl at the moment, so we're kind of seeing what happens with that. But I mean, even for me, even I've been so exhausted from this commitment. I mean, usually I would have like a break or something in between, and I would say, for me personally, I think filming longer days is better than just doing 3 hours committed every day, because I'm still spending like on top of that about 3 hours of traveling as well. So I mean, I'm losing like 6 hours, and by the time I'm getting home, I'm having dinner, and then I'm already like relaxing, ready to go to bed by like about 9 o'clock. So I've got no energy for approaching at the moment. So yeah, so hopefully that answers that question. So no, everything's just for on camera with him at the moment. He's sticking around for the month, and then I think he said he's going to Barcelona next, maybe. So, Labubu Bros, hi, welcome. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Obviously for the right reasons, though. If you're someone who needs help with their social anxiety, or you're looking to be more confident, I like to think that I take a more holistic approach to things. With the idea or concept of cold approaching, I'm actually not too fussed about using it for dating, although my background of working in the dating industry is certainly a big element of what I do with people. And in fact, Johnny Berber once said something along the lines of it's not about dating women, but it's everything about dating women. That if you can, as a guy, go up to someone who you are genuinely very attracted to and strike a conversation with them, then you can literally do anything. Anything is possible. So it's kind of like a slight misquote to what he said, but certainly along the lines. And I stand very firmly with that idea that, you know what, if you can face your fear, and in this case, if you can speak to someone who you are attracted to, then anything is possible. You can literally do anything that you put your mind to. And I know it's super cheesy and all that, but it's true. It's genuinely true. It's about facing your fears, becoming desensitized to it through exposure therapy, and then realizing that, hey, it's not actually so bad. And it's even got me thinking about another live stream I might do at some point about the idea of can you actually train your sympathetic nervous system to go from flight mode to fight mode, which obviously, in short, the answer is yes, I do believe that. But I want to try and maybe explore that in another video or in another live stream. Maybe a video. I'll have to see. I will have to see with that. Depends if I actually find the energy to get round to actually making a video about it. But right, no, those were really good questions so far. But no, if you've got more, if you've got something that you would like to discuss, ask me about. I am an open book. I'd love to get more insight into your experiences or your thoughts about the dating industry, or even the old school pickup industry, because I think it's really important that people have better insight into what the industry is actually accommodating for, what it's genuinely trying to help people with. And I think maybe the more insight people get, then maybe it might encourage more people to seek help with coaching in this area of their life in dating, or perhaps maybe it might help them to take action with something else in their life. So yeah, if you've got questions, by all means, please do fire away. I love that I've got 9 people watching. Let's see here, so 10 to 15 miles is normal for a day game session if only there was a more efficient way to do it without walking a lot. Well, that, there are. You could do what was the old school title of lazy day game, which was essentially you just sort of sit somewhere like in a coffee shop and just literally just being lazy. And if people walk by, then you maybe take turns running over to them to speak to them. And also, with the 10 to 15 miles, this is within like 3 hours. Plus as well, it's a 2 hour, it's a 2 mile walk for me to my station and 2 miles back. So, I do then, 4 miles of just walking to and from the train station, which is why I then take the opportunity to do these live streams during that point. But, I know if I'm going out with friends and we are like proactively doing approaching because we genuinely want to work on our social skills and just interacting with people, not even just for the dating side of things, but just to really get that momentum there, because I don't think people will think about that. It's not just about the interactions you have on that day. It's the ripple effect of what do your interactions look like days later or weeks later, especially if you've kept that momentum in place. But I know, like, if me and Owen go out, I think we probably do anywhere between about 15 to 20 miles a day, because we stay out for like proper long full days. Like, I'm talking about maybe like 8-9 hours. Like, we'll get into town maybe around like 11 o'clock, and then we'll walk around. Well, obviously we'll have breaks and stuff in between, because, you know, doing this is a workout. You've got to have breaks. When guys sort of like have those like brain fog moments and they're like, I don't understand why this has happened, but it's because, you know, you're really doing a workout for both your body and your brain as well. So you've got to stay hydrated. You've got to keep having food every couple of hours. You can't just be reliant on just walking around and, you know, just having like a small breakfast or something and thinking like, oh yeah, you know, I can get through the day. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. It's like doing the equivalent of like a marathon without eating anything 24 hours before. Like, you've got to really put fuel in your body and consistently as well. But yeah, that's a digression. But no, I'm usually out like long days, and yeah, I'll easily do like 15-20 miles, you know, during that time. And then, as you can imagine, by the end of the day, both of us are just absolutely exhausted from walking. But no, it's certainly good fun. Okay. Right. Any more questions? Sorry, I'm also just a bit aware. Like, I've been like pointing the camera angle like literally up my nose as well. It's just simply because I'm also very vigilant of, especially in London, like with people cycling around, and then they've got like these sticky gloves. They literally like whack and take your phone. Like, I just don't want to risk it, to be honest. So I'm just a little bit more vigilant. So I try and like keep my phone more to my chest. But then at the end of the day, there's nothing special to see on camera. So I just listen to my voice and me talking about stuff. That's all good. But right, no, carry on, please. Any more questions? I love it. Honestly, this is what I'm here for. I want to be able to discuss things more about the industry, whatever it is. So Martin, yeah, if you've got any more questions, please fire away. Well, I know I'm kind of nearing the train station as well. I've still got about like 10 minutes or so until my train comes. But yeah, if you have any more questions, fire away. Whatever it is about the industry. I got this notification. Apparently I've used 80% of my data allowance. Wow, okay. I had no idea. These live streams might suddenly become more short-lived than I thought. But maybe I can't do live streams necessarily every day. Oh, that was a strong sense of weed that went past. God, dear me. Come on, any questions? Any more questions? So. So props to James Tusk, because he's been travelling for years now. Never in London anymore. That's probably a good thing, to be honest. I mean, I don't think very much of James anymore. I used to work with him, so I mean, won't really comment on him. But yeah, if he's living his best life, then I wish him all the best. Okay, get my card out. This was a bit awkward last time. Okay. doing time-wise? Right, I got 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes. So if you've got any more questions, now is certainly the time. I've just had a message from Ephraim, so I know where I'm going to meet. Fantastic. Okay, so again, I've got 10 minutes left. Whatever your final questions are, I've realised that trying to do a live stream on the train is actually a really bad idea. It didn't work out the other day. And I was like in the middle of about to answer a really good question, and I was like, damn, I can't do anything. Shot of me now. So final few minutes then for any questions. Whatever you'd like to ask about the dating industry. Ephraim acts a lot like Christian. Have you noticed that? Yes, actually, funny enough, we spoke about that because I was talking about mannerisms that guys have when they have followed or watched their favourite coach. And I was saying to him about, like, I've seen it when I've been out in London, that there have been guys who stand very similar or speak very similar to coaches that they follow. And Ephraim had actually asked me, like, do you think I've got? Because I said to him, like, oh, you know, you've got similarities to things, to mannerisms that, like, what Christian has. And he said, do I really? I was like, yeah, absolutely. But I said it's understandable if you've been, you know, learning from him, you've been spending a lot of time with him, you've certainly absorbed a lot of his behaviours and personality traits and stuff, which is ultimately what's got you your results. So yeah, it is a normal thing. I mean, it's like an osmosis thing that plays out there. But usually, as like time goes on, when people become a coach, especially if they've kind of learned from someone else, and they eventually do find their own footing, they'll find their own way. So like, I'm sure Ephraim, as time goes on, he'll probably maybe speak a little bit less like Christian, or he'll probably start saying his like own things rather than Christian. But it's perfectly normal. There's never really anything wrong with it. But yeah, definitely there is that obviousness. There we go. So I can't remember where I was saying with that, but no, he'll find his own footing as time goes on, and then yeah, there'll be less mannerisms that will be so obvious that he was maybe coached or that he spent time with Christian. Leo Horn, welcome to the live stream. If you're subscribed, amazing. If not, then you've got to subscribe, my friend. But most importantly, if the actual content is going to help you out. I've probably got about 5 minutes left before I have to end the live stream. So if you've got questions about the industry, if you've got thoughts on it, opinions on it, whatever it is, by all means fire away with your questions. Hopefully nothing too deep. Because I really don't want to end up getting on the train and then finding like I lose internet connection straight away, and then I can't really answer it. So keep the questions short and sweet if you can. But yeah, I've got less than probably 5 minutes left. So ask whatever you can in that time. So these trains are going by as well. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Absolutely anything. I've got a couple minutes before my train comes. Give me one juicy question. I just feel like I'm putting faces at myself. God, any questions? Haven't missed anything, have I, either? Let's just have a look. That doesn't look like it. You should get him to do some protest approaches. No, that would be a terrible idea. Terrible idea. The problem is that with protesters, the moment they see the camera, like all hell just breaks loose, and it would be more of a drama for me than it would be for him. And also, when it gets really crowded, it's actually very difficult to film, and so all you'd probably have is just the audio, and you'd also just have people just talking about protest stuff. Yeah, it's certainly more of a drama. Yeah, even just thinking about it now, yeah, it would just be an absolute drama. We'd end up doing like you'd do one approach, and then we'd just be like, no, we've got to escape the situation. any more questions? Otherwise, I'll wrap it there. That's easier said than done. I've already told him that he needs to get into his interactions faster. Maybe in another live stream I'll explain how the filming works, because I don't think people necessarily have the best insight into how difficult it can be, and how as well I am constantly predicting the actions that a client or coach takes, and sometimes I guess right, sometimes I don't. It is what it is. Right, he's getting a bit more busy now, so I will wrap it there, and then until the next time.